When I moved into Ridgeview Meadows, a semi-rural community on the outskirts of town, I wasn't expecting drama. I had just accepted a promotion to police captain and wanted a quieter place away from city noise. Somewhere I could unwind after 14-hour shifts, spend time with my family, and occasionally let my brother park his logistics company's rigs on my adjacent lot. You see, my younger brother Ray owns a small but thriving transport business. On weekends, a couple of his 18-wheelers would be temporarily parked on the gravel lot behind my fence, on my legally zoned, privately owned land. No traffic, no noise, no fumes. Just a safe place for his drivers to rest while off the clock. Everything was fine until Karen got involved. Karen Bristow, the HOA president, fancied herself a guardian of suburban order. She had a knack for turning minor concerns into written warnings, and her favorite tool was a digital camera paired with an outdated HOA handbook. One morning, I found a typed note duct taped to my gate. Captain Thompson, semi-trucks are strictly prohibited in Ridgeview Meadows. Your property is subject to HOA jurisdiction. You have 48 hours to remove all commercial vehicles or face daily fines of $500. I chuckled at first. Surely she misunderstood the property lines. My land extended slightly beyond the official HOA boundaries. Still, I wanted to handle this respectfully. I knocked on her door the next evening, still in uniform. Karen, I think there's been a mix-up, I said calmly. The trucks are on my adjacent parcel, which is zoned commercial, residential hybrid, outside the HOA's coverage area. She barely glanced up from her clipboard. You're setting a bad example, Captain. If residents start parking tractor trailers next to their homes, this whole community will look like a truck stop. I tried to explain zoning laws, but she cut me off. Well, I've already contacted the towing company and filed a complaint with the county. This isn't personal. It's about preserving property values. I stepped back, trying to keep my cool. Karen, with all due respect, attempting to tow licensed and legally parked vehicles from private, commercially zoned land can lead to criminal and civil consequences. You're overstepping. 2 days later, I saw a tow truck creeping down the road. The driver looked confused, talking on the phone, trying to match the address. I walked up, badge on my belt, and politely asked him who dispatched the call. Some HOA lady, he said these trucks were illegally parked. I showed him the parcel maps from the county assessor's office, complete with zoning status and ownership. He shook his head and backed the rig out with an apologetic wave. Now it was time to make it official. I called a meeting with the HOA board, armed with my captain's authority, municipal zoning documents, and an attorney from the city's legal department. I calmly laid out the facts. My property line and the truck lot are outside HOA jurisdiction. The vehicles are legally owned, licensed, and not in violation of any city code. Any future attempts to tow or harass the drivers would be treated as unlawful interference and reported accordingly. Karen tried to object, mumbling about community cohesion, but the rest of the board looked mortified. One even apologized to me afterward in the parking lot. A week later, Karen sent a letter, not an apology, but a revised interpretation of the rules, clarifying that semi-trucks may be permitted under certain exemptions. Translation: she backed down. Now my brother's drivers continue to rest peacefully behind my home. And Karen? Well, she's redirected her energy to mailbox paint colors and Halloween decorations. You'd think after decades in law enforcement, I'd be used to power trips. But suburban politics? That's a different kind of wild.